Hi, I'm Sergio and this is Latin Guitar Mastery. This channel is dedicated to Latin guitar styles, including improvisation, bossa novas, Spanish music, jazz, and things like that. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe or like at the bottom of the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Mixolydian scale, which is one of the major modes of the scale and a really useful mode for playing over dominant seventh chords. So let's get stuck in. So what is the Mixolydian mode? Well, it's one of the modes of the major scale. Each degree of the major scale has a mode associated with it. For example, the first mode, which is the same as the major scale, is the Ionian mode. It has the same arrangement of tones and semitones as the major scale. If we start the scale on the second degree, for example, if we're playing a C major, we start on D, then we get the Dorian mode, playing D to D without any sharps or flats. Today we're going to look at the Mixolydian scale, which is the mode that is created when you start on the fifth degree of the major scale. For example, if I start a C major scale on G and I play G to G, then I get the Mixolydian mode. For example, C major scale, and if I start that on G, now it's a slightly different sounding scale than the G major scale, which would be... What's the difference? Well, the difference is the seventh degree. With a major scale, we have a major 7. With a Mixolydian scale, we have a flat 7. So a really good way to think about the Mixolydian mode is to think of a major scale and flatten the 7th degree. So let's try that with a C major scale. C major sounds like this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Right? Now it's got a B natural in it. We know that C major has no sharps or flats, so it's got a B natural in it. If we want to go to and create a C Mixolydian mode, we simply flatten that B. So we get a C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. And its a result is a slightly different sounding scale, which is the Mixolydian scale. The Mixolydian scale is really good when you're playing over a blues or a 7th chord. And that's because of this flat 7. And oftentimes we're playing over a 7th chord which has a B flat. So let's look at the scale pattern for C, starting on the 5th string. It looks like this. Of course, when I say C7 or dominance chord, that could be any dominant chord. So C7, C9, C13, or any embellished chords of that nature. So if I play a C9, that works really well. Or a C13. Let's try that over a C7 chord that I'll set up on the loop pedal. So a bit of a bossa nova C7 chord. So you can see it sounds cool. It sounds bluesy, but a little bit jazzy as well. Another scale pattern I like to use is the G Mixolydian, starting on the 6th string, and it looks like this. So like I said, it's similar to a G major scale, which would go F sharp, but instead we go to F natural. I like to use this in combination with the minor pentatonic. So oftentimes I'll start a lick with the minor pentatonic feel and then finish the phrase with the Mixolydian scale. Here's an example. So I start with the minor blues pentatonic, and then at this point I go to the Mixolydian scale. So you get that really nice bluesiness plus a little bit of a jazz finish. A really excellent phrase that I use, and I use it a lot. Sometimes if I'm playing, in an E blues, I might put that same pattern. I might do it into a B7, and an A7. especially if I know I'm heading downwards in that sort of, and then so I'll do that for an E7 blues. So there you have two Mixolydian scales that are really useful on guitar, and in some cases I use them over bossa novas. That works really well, especially if you're not trying to use sort of the pentatonic feel. Certainly over Latin jazz it works really well, but it works really well over blues, and you hear a lot of electric players using them in many blues contexts. C Mixolydian, G Mixolydian. Let me know if you have any questions. I've tried to keep it reasonably basic. You can go into more detail, more of the maths around it, but at least if you think about the Mixolydian scale with a flat 7, and then think about using it over C7, G7 chords, and see how you go. Really a scale worth adding to your scale repertoire. That's all for me today. Let me know if you have any questions. As I said, like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you next video. Thanks a lot.